video review may seem negative, but it's based on my honest reaction and what I saw at the site. I arrived without expectations, except that this was a great garden, but I was not prepared for Great Dixter. The house was interesting, but the gardens were confusing. They were a jumble and made me wonder what was going on. It is not pretty or interesting, and I don't know that it was worth it. Okay, I don't mean to be cruel, but this is a mess. I mean, I know there's plants in here and some of them are nice, but holy crap. Looks like it hasn't been tended in about 20 years. What the heck? What a mess. Okay, so this is another entrance into the garden. And it's more mess. I mean, really, look at it. What the heck? Is this on purpose? I'm aghast. Okay, that is crazy. You don't even want to go down that path. And what's the point of having a garden if you can't even move around in it? This is just weird. Is this done on purpose? So it looks like there's a clematis that they planted to grow in the bed. Yeah, they did. So this is the border. And it just looks like a bunch of weeds, really. I mean, there are some nice plants in there, but there's just too much. Okay, I'm gonna go down here because it looks a little bit neater. I was wrong. At this point, I was just confused. I didn't know why the garden was so different, but I was beginning to understand that it was a theme. There was just too much going on, so much plant material. The eye had nowhere to rest. It was just chaos. And that, for me, is not really aesthetically pleasing. It was like a border in a meadow had just been dumped into the property, plants falling wherever and elbowing each other for light and water. And as a garden to visit and to try to enjoy, no. I have banana trees in here next to a blue spruce. Okay, that's just weird. So here's a nice back view of the house and the oost. And there's some kid yak crying away. This was the area closer to the house with a pond, and it was a bit more weeded. At least you could get around the paths. It was also the area where most of the visitors were congregating. I learned later that the garden was the home and creation of Christopher Lloyd, who was, in Britain, a well-known garden writer and television personality. He wrote for many well-known UK publications. He died in 2006, so not sure what the garden looked like when he was alive. Isn't it? It's crooked.
It's not just me.
Yeah, it is.
It's crooked.
In 1909, Nathaniel Lloyd bought the 1450s house called Dixter. He hired Edwin Lutens, who moved a 16th century house from Kent to the property. He combined the houses, built a new part, and they called it Great Dixter. This was the original 1450s Great Hall, and it was very impressive. There wasn't much else open that I could film in the house. When I left, out by the barn, I saw this board talking about biodiversity and that is what is practiced at Great Dixter. It said they don't leave the garden to re-wild, but my experience was that it was wild in areas. There were, of course, nice tended parts near the house. It says they leave plants dead or weeds as food and habitat. There's nothing wrong with creating natural habitat for wildlife, but there's a difference between a garden and a nature preserve.